Hank Live, the absolute finest entertainment on the internet. Join us in fighting back against evil.
It's hotter than a blacktop in July, sweating like a sinner in a church, and I just wanna get out with my crew tonight and shoot at the lights. Got a couple 40s full of hops and fun, looking for a good time, gotta live it up. Leave behind the city, hop inside my truck. No, we don't give up. We're gonna paint the night red, broken holler till we're dead. We're down to turn up, we're up to get down, saying hey y'all.
Oh, the Planet Hank live show. Now, I haven't been live in a little bit, so we're just getting back into the swang of things, but there is no mistaking. This is the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting, the Planet Hank live show. I absolutely love doing this show, and I've been missing you guys over the last couple weeks because of Christmas and the holidays and everything else that keeps getting in the way of our fun. And so, you know how it goes. We're going to have to get back into the swang of things. If you're just hopping in here, consider sharing this up and letting some other people who could be potentially interested in this stream, get them in here. Share it up. We're going to go hard tonight. We got a ton of topics, including we will be discussing the rape situation that allegedly happened at Travelodge in North Brattleboro. We're going to be watching some reels, including the very funny reel that I had with this dude who got a DUI, and hilarity ensued. And we're going to go through all the regular crap that we got to talk about. Venezuela, okay, all the BS. Minnesota, all the BS. It's like we've had a full year's worth of news in the last couple weeks, and all hell is breaking loose. And we're going to talk about it. We are definitely going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a justice.gov conviction that happened today, was posted about today. We're going to talk about liberal hypocrisy. And there's a ton of material there. There's tons of it. We're going to talk about these protests and how embarrassing it is. Lauren Tiller writes, Isaac just stormed out of Select Board again. Justin Sims writes, I knew Hank before he was famous. Well, I mean, I'm super excited about that, but we're not famous yet, buddy. We're not famous yet, and we should be, but we're not. So we're going to let this get out, and what I'm going to do right now is I am going to share this. I am going to share this broadcast to some communities on X. X.com is one of the places where our largest audience is at. Now, look at how slick I am with this right here. Now I'm going to write the best podcast. And I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to share it. Sharing it to all kinds of weird and wonderful places. They changed the way some of this is done on this crap. And in the comments, put some comments up. Tell me what you actually want to talk about. We don't do that enough. What the heck do you guys actually like talking about? You actually like talk about anything? And then we're going to go down and we're going to talk about how much better we are than all of the mainstream podcasts and all of the crap. He said, falling iguana alert in Florida. That's a great topic. That is a great topic. She said, "You kids have fun. Select board is spicy tonight." Oh boy, maybe we should steal some of that. She said, "Is it hello from Iceland? Is okay?" Joe Snuffy on YouTube says hello from Iceland. But as we all know, there's no ice in Iceland. It's green over there. It's basically Greenland. So, I mean, should we start calling it Greenland? And should we take it over? Should we allow Trump to take over Iceland and Greenland? You know? What does everybody think about what they saw, what they've been hearing about Trump saying he's going to take over Greenland? He goes, "I'm working a golf event in Orlando tomorrow morning. Who the F golfs in their 20s and 30s? Oh, yeah, man. These kids these days, they're out here golfing. They're acting. The young generation are basically baby boomers. They are basically baby boomers, and everybody knows it. So there's that. So, okay. So let's get right into the BS because there is a lot of BS, okay? And I know that I trigger everybody because I'm the worst misogynist, and how dare Hank exist? And Brattleboro is so offended and they can't function and everything. But here's the thing. Here's your trigger. Useless liberal. If you're offended by everything, then watch this show. This is the show for you. I will give you a reason that you can be triggered, that you can cry amongst your friends and get mad about everything. Here we are. Get mad. Get mad at me specifically because I don't care and nobody else cares either. Okay? We love when you're upset. And so here we are. We're here for you. We're here for you. Get triggered. Shout out to everybody rolling in. He says, that music makes me pee a little. It's scary. Jeff DeForest writes, President Trump says a lot of things that trigger the leftists. Hank, you are second to president. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm second. I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay? Just imagine if I was president. It'd be way worse than if Trump was president. Way worse. It would be way worse if I was president than Trump. These people would be out of their minds. They'd be frothing. So our very first story, okay, of the night, the Brattleboro News recap show. So what we do is we play a clip. We all watch it together. You guys can put up some comments. You guys can ask questions, and I'll tell you some stuff about it. So this is a very serious story, and here we go. News and planethank.com. Brattleboro police responded to the Travel Lodge off Putney Road in North Brattleboro for a report of an unconscious female. During the officers' investigation, they revealed that the victim was bleeding and saying that she had been raped. Officers detained Bankim Aghera, who goes by Anil, who was the manager of Travel Lodge Motel, where the victim had a room. The officers located Aghera and detained him and transported him to the Brattleboro Police Department to preserve the surveillance footage he was in direct control of as the manager of the motel. According to the court affidavit, the victim told officers Aghera entered her room and told her she owed him and began removing her clothes, pulled down her pants, and put his dick inside of her vagina. The affidavit states that when the victim said no and tried to resist, Aghera struck her in the head, knocking her unconscious. When she woke back up, he was gone and the police were there shortly after. The affidavit claims that Aghera did not wear a condom and ejaculated inside of her. Windham Superior Court Judge Michael Kanan noted that the prosecution asked the court to hold him without bail, and while Aghera has no criminal record, he has been charged with an offense that could get him life in prison. He is being housed at Southern State Correctional Facility. He has been charged with aggravated sexual assault with injury, sexual assault with no consent, and aggravated assault, all felonies.
he was seen in court earlier today. I called the travel lodge, and they have indicated that Aghera is no longer employed by the business and that they stand against all of the allegations and will be working with the police to the fullest extent. I'll keep you updated as this story develops. I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com.
So obviously that's not really like ideal. That was terrible. That was like the worst thing that could have happened. And so this guy, Anil, or Bankim Aghera, as we all kind of had an idea, his name's not Anil, but this guy gets brought up constantly. Women in this area have had it with this dude. He was using the hotel voucher program, the liberal hotel voucher program. This was their big idea. Let's spend hundreds of millions of dollars on homeless in Vermont. And basically it's been a blunder every step of the way. And here's another caveat of to how you can abuse this program. We got this guy. He's from a foreign country. His name's Bankim Aghera. And here he goes. And so there's been many allegations made that this guy was basically leveraging the little bit of power that he had as a hotel manager to corner and to leverage women and put them in uncomfortable situations, sexually vulnerable situations. They had to go through this guy or they would lose their voucher and potentially would be back out on the streets. And so this is a woman that actually made a police report, and he's been arrested for it. And so whatever the detectives found during this situation, they decided that that was enough. Enough is enough. And they arrested him. And now he's being held without bail, which is a big deal in Vermont. We know that we all complain about this constantly. Why are they out? Why is the court letting them out? Well, here you go. This guy is not being let out on bail, at least not yet. So I think he's going to have an opportunity at his next hearing, again, to make a case for, hey, look, why or why not? And it's a big deal. Jeff DeForest writes, these people come from other countries and they have no morals. It's not that they have no morals. It's that they have different traditions. They have different culture than us. They treat women very differently than we do here in the States. He goes, bring back the blood eagle for sexual predators. Jasmine Vargas says, roar. Yes. Teddy writes, before I got my apartment, I was in the hotel program. Neil used to accuse me falsely of things all the time. Katie writes, yes, clearly. He goes, I should have waited for the whole story. Yeah, you were putting your foot squarely in your mouth on that one. It wasn't great. It wasn't great what you were saying. But so for everybody who's upset about it, Justin is from Florida. He has no clue what's going on up here in the great state of Vermont. Okay, he's down in the great state of Florida, making Florida great again, 20 minutes from Mar-a-Lago. So do me a solid and share this up to some of your very best followers. Let me go ahead, and what I'm going to do at this time, let's see, is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to log into the chat, and we got a bunch of people watching, but I'm going to share this into some groups. The best podcast. Because tonight is all about just getting back into the swing of things. Planet Hank Locker Room. Shout out. The best group. Hands down. Chester, Vermont Unleashed. Full of libtards. Absolutely disgusting. Karens of Vermont. Goes without saying. Got to report it there. Trump Daily Report. Absolutely. Now, we're going to skip Brattleboro Chat and Brattleboro whatever. Those groups are garbage. Garbage. Those groups are garbage. Full of bots and full of liberal scum. It's time for us to stick up for doing the right thing. When did we hang out with weird, gross liberals? We never did. They're always nerds. They're always like creepy crawlies. It's like when you like feel and there's like a bug climbing up your leg and you're like, oh, God. That's what it's like. I don't care what they think or say. I hope that everything that I do is something that offends them. If it wasn't, I'd have a problem with myself. Like, bro, these are not the people. I don't care what they think. Why would anybody care what they think? What they think is garbage. He goes, you mean greasy hair and acne? Yeah. That's what they all have. Greasy hair and acne. He goes, we all know you just want a hot goth bitch. No. That's gross. Nobody wants that. He goes, it's all Florida man. She said, Hanky, are you sick? No. He said, you know, you're right. They're all brought up that way. Yeah, exactly. He goes, even the local buy-sell Facebook groups are full of libtard bots too. Yeah. Basically, the problem with Vermont, and we're going to get into this later, is that this is a breeding ground for their nonsense. And what they do is they go into all these groups and they police every single thing that anybody says or does. They've tried to cancel the Brattleboro News and Planet Hank. They go and contact all of my sponsors. They contact people and they basically just run their mouths. What they can't do is stand on policy. They can't get elected into their positions and do a good job. Nope. They always have to have some scam, zero accountability scam as to why it's not their fault that they're doing a lousy job, that the state is being run into the ground, that their policies have failed. It could never be that. They could never admit, hey, we should tweak some of this stuff. We're spending way too much money on stuff that doesn't matter. Nope. They would never say that. They'll never admit to that. It's always Trump's fault. It's got to be Trump's fault that their nonprofit organization drew the largest amount of homeless increase out of all 50 states to come here. And we've spent $800 million over the last few years to double the homeless population. That's got to be Trump's fault. Couldn't possibly be this low, lackey Vermont legislature's problem. It could not be them. Weak, liberal, puppet politicians, that couldn't be it. They were bought and paid for by several of these crazy, woke organizations that makes major contributions to their campaigns. It could never be that. It could never be that. It could never be that they don't know how to run a municipality. They don't know how to make budgets. They don't know how to do anything except try to be activists. That's all they do. He said it's 100% Kermit's fault. He goes, are you talking about Pelvis Newscomb? Basically, the Brattleboro and the Vermont libtards, they want to be California libtards so bad. Basically, anything that any liberal blue city, blue state comes up with to be outraged by, you can bet your bottom dollar that we're going to see a congression of brain-dead, gray-haired white women standing at Pliny Park doing the next woke protest. It makes no sense. They're definitely going to be doing that. Bobby K over on X. X is blowing up. He said, I have never met a Democrat that didn't love spending taxpayer money. They love it. They love the idea. The only reason they like Republicans is that they actually pay taxes. Something Wong writes, I ball so hard they thought I was a nut sack. Trump. Roy says, unfortunately, it's not just Vermont. Exactly. All of these blue state holdouts, including Minnesota, which we're going to get to, which is a literal war zone right now because of leftist policies, leftist politicians, fraudulent scams and spendings. And obviously, Nick Shirley came out and showed us the daycare. And we're going to spend the next 3 years of Trump digging in and figuring out all the times that the leftists lied and stole our money and their politicians laid cover for them. Right now, we have Becca Balin, Vermont's own little active protester. She's flying to Minnesota to make content of herself crying on behalf of the woman who slammed her car into an ICE agent and got shot. Makes no sense. Have they ever protested for the right thing to do, doing what's right? I don't think so. Kayla Warner writes, Brattleboro is a hub of people traveling through. If you get stuck there, you're an addict. Vermont is the highest cost of living with taxes increasing regularly. How can anybody stay here? Oh, wait. If you live off the state, you're fine. It's definitely Trump's fault. Damn politics. Exactly. Ridiculous. Karen writes, famous. She goes, I'm enrolling in the Leering Center. The Leering Center. It was so amazing. The left is so full of compassion and leering. They care so much about Somali children. How dare all of us say anything about them stealing money because they care about the children? Roy writes, she should be concerned about what's going on in her own state. Exactly. She doesn't spend any time here. She doesn't care. She lives in Brattleboro. And the silence is deafening. It's ridiculous. So we've had so many, let's just start ripping into stuff. So on January 3rd, 2026, the U.S. forces executed Operation Absolute Resolve, snatching Nicolas Maduro. And so Trump has declared the United States will run Venezuela, and he called himself the interim president of Venezuela. The raid has already freed over 400 prisoners, including political dissidents and at least 4 Americans. Tren de Agua gang activity is collapsing as the U.S. seizes tankers and cuts off Maduro's drug and violence pipeline. Trump talked about this beautiful partnership that will make Venezuelans rich, independent, and safe. And immediately, we already saw the left out there protested in all of our towns across Vermont and across this country. Which is it? No kings or don't arrest a dictator, cartel, narco terrorist? They're out of their minds. And here's the thing. They are profiting off drug addiction. And we all know it. We've all seen it. I did my whole reality series on them profiting off of addiction. They need more addicts in these towns to act as cattle for their little nonprofits and their little meetings about how they're going to fix all of the world's problems, which we all know they're not going to fix. And we're going to be left paying the bill and paying for their next blunder. It's sad. They're right. There should be no redactions in the Epstein files. We need full disclosure. I don't care how many of our presidents and their friends are on the list. She should be, the Epstein file, I have a feeling that that's going to come out timed perfectly with the primaries and make it count when politics counts. Unfortunately, that's the system that we're in, and that's the way things work. And so I'm not holding my breath for a unredacted version of that, and whatever. I mean, take it as you will. Why did Biden have the files for his entire presidency and say nothing? And then as soon as Trump came in, everything's different. And the left wants to assume that he's this pedophile or assume that he had something. It's ridiculous. We have no information, so we need to get that. And once that's available, then let's talk about it. until then, I don't really want to talk about what leftist media assumes to be true or what they're speculating to be the truth. She's pulling the BS as the Maryland man. Glad my taxes are being used for this tyrant to virtue signal. She's out of her goddamn mind. Grant writes, the unfortunate thing is the lady shot in Minnesota was also a victim of leftist propaganda, convincing her that she was in the right. And that's huge. That is huge. And the left has to be realistic about that. I mean, we've seen Operation Mockingbird where all of the leftist media just says the exact same thing, the exact same headline, and they all push it. They're all pushing the narrative. And you're right, Renee Good was manipulated by these organizations and radicalized. That's why they call it radical left. They radicalized her to drop her kids off and drive up and act crazy. Nobody needs to act like that. You're going to go and pull your car in and film the cops. And it's ridiculous. ICE is going to operate and take people who are illegals off of the streets. I'd love to see those women, privileged women, sticking up for any of the women who were murdered by the illegals, but they don't want to talk about that because it doesn't help their political agenda. And that's what this is all about. It's just politics. The media is not going to push a story that doesn't help them politically, that doesn't drive dollars into their organizations. It's not going to happen. Tomcat writes, Trump, 2028. Todd in the house. He says, howdy, neighbors. That's right. He wrote, who are we protecting? Donald Trump already told us he has nothing to hide. 100% transparency, full disclosure is a necessity. Sure. Let's see it. Let's see it. To me, before we're all outraged, why are you outraged? Can you be serious? Can you have a conversation about that? The message of what was in the Epstein files that has you mad, that they said billionaires have a pedophile island. Do you think it's possible that that message was not true and that it sounds so juicy and got its traction via manipulative propaganda designed to hurt or help politicians? Yeah, same exact thing we're talking about with Renee Good. The media manipulated them and to go up and to mess with ICE and pull her vehicle in there and act like she was part of the resistance. Who gave the message that all this stuff was happening on Epstein Island? And nobody. The files were confidential. The media speculated the whole entire story and got everybody in America all pissed off about it. And now we're all demanding. We're demanding that the files are released to show us what the media told us. We're demanding it. We demand to see what the media speculated about. And if they don't release it and it shows who you want to be guilty, then nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to buy it. She said, common sense is priceless. Biden had all of these files for 4 years. The point is, it was never a big deal until the media made it a big deal and told you what to be mad about on both the right and the left. And when Trump became president, all of a sudden the teams flip-flopped. Trump was threatening to release the files before he was president. Release them. He ran on that. He said, release them. And then as soon as he's president, now the left wants the files released. And Pam Bondi said, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And we all heard the excuses. My whole thing is I guarantee you that those files aren't as interesting as everybody wanted them to be, just like the JFK files. The JFK files were released. People have been screaming about those since the assassination, okay? And what did we find out? What did we find out? What was the big thing that everybody wanted to know? He goes, new meeting to taking one for the team. Yeah, but you're saying we don't protect predators. What predators? How do you even know that there were predators? You were told to be mad about predators. He goes, Jeff and Trump, best buds. Trump. Sounds like you guys already know what you were manipulated to be mad by CNN, and you're not smart enough to be able to identify that. And, we should feel bad for you. You don't know what you're mad about because you have no information. You're just mad. Who's protecting pedophiles? He said, my sound keeps dropping out. How's it sound now? Anything better? Ba-ba-ba. He goes, MAGA dumbass, too stupid to have the audio not cut out. Well, whatever. Any day that you think that you are man enough to defend any of your fucking mouth to me, let me know. We can meet up. Because I guarantee you are a fucking pussy. Period. You can't defend anything. You don't know anything. You're just mad because you want to be mad at CNN because you're mad at Trump. Because Trump tells the truth on you. And the truth is you're a fucking retard pussy. And we're tired of it. He goes, Trump raped. He goes, let's act together. Look at these people. Nice job not reading the pedo part. You're triggered. Nah, we're just sick of you. We have just already heard this liberal crap. Everything that's liberal is in the toilet. All of your policies and ideas is in the toilet. And all you're left with is crying about Trump. I think that we will release the files just in time to prove that the left is full of shit. And it's going to be a wonderful moment. And I guarantee you that as soon as that we can blame it on the left officially, and your politicians have to go down, now these two little crybabies who are triggered, now they're not going to want to talk about it anymore. Those files are going to disappear fast as hell when they realize that it's not their path to get Trump. He goes, get after them. She goes, yeah, love it. Nice to see Hank hasn't changed. Yeah, look at this guy. Juan Herrera. Yeah, we know why you're mad. Yeah, we know this. All you little Trump babies crying about Trump anytime, any day of the week when you want to be men instead of little cuckolded liberal beta males, anytime. We just saw that one MAGA guy knock out 7 liberal protesters. You guys can't defend yourselves. You can't defend your policies. You can't do shit. You don't want none of it. And nobody cares about you. We don't care. That's why we won all the elections and Trump is your president. You have no authority or power. You have nothing. You can't even back up what you're saying now. He goes, it's sad to sell you. Dude, we don't need you. You're a pussy. That's it. He goes, who did that? I need to find that and laugh. Yeah, there's a whole video. I'm about to do a reaction on it. He goes, they will disappear just like the Clinton emails. So for all the people who are ignoring the Lake and Riley and all the women who were killed by illegals, but now are protesting ICE, so now you care about the victims of the Epstein files? Because I don't think you do. The only thing that you people care about is Trump derangement syndrome. We've gone past this. You all cheered for Charlie Kirk to die, but now you're upset about Renee Good? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. You guys are caught backwards on the issues again because you are stupid and nobody needs to listen to your opinions. Like, I highly doubt that you even have success anywhere in your lives, let alone in your political opinions. She said, we don't tolerate bullies. Okay, what are you going to do about it? What the fuck are you going to do about it? You can't do anything. You get knocked out if you fight. You guys cried about the Proud Boys so bad. You've been screaming about J6 for years. Nobody is afraid of you. We had one dude knock 7 of you out. The Proud Boys traumatized you, whooped all your asses for years. Nobody cares. You guys can't fight. You can't defend your policies. Your policies all fail. We all make fun of you. Nobody cares. Next topic. So now for you lefties who are crying in the comments like betas while your wife's boyfriend fucks her in the other room, let's be honest about this. Let's talk about the $68 million fraud adult daycare case that was prosecuted and convicted as of January 15th, today. Guilty pleas and massive Medicaid ripoff. Another liberal Democrat activist failure splashed all across justice.gov. Brooklyn residents Manal Wasef, 46, and Elaine Antau, 46, just pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud in a staggering $68 million them into 2 shady adult daycares, Happy Family and Happy Social, plus a home health company, Responsible Care Staffing. How the scam worked. From October 2017 through July 2024, the pair laundered dirty money through shell companies to hand out bribes, then billed Medicaid for services that were never provided or were only done because of the kickbacks. This marks the 6th and 7th guilty pleas in the case. They're forfeiting roughly $1 million combined. Prison time incoming. Antau gets sentenced May 20th, 2026, and Wasif on May 27th, 2026, each staring down up to 10 years behind bars. Feds finally moved in after years of pressure. And guess who exposed it? Citizen journalist exposed it first. While the government loves taking credit, this entire fraud network was blown wide open by citizen journalists, much like yourself. And much why the libtards are in here crying about me is because they know that we're uncovering all the crap they fucked up. Regular Americans digging through Brooklyn's Medicaid underbelly of liberal nonsense posted receipts, tips, and connections on X and independent platforms. Their relentless work forced authorities to act when bureaucrats were happy to look the other way. And so, again, we're sending leftards to prison for lying and stealing exactly that. Found the real watchdogs. These citizen journalists operate on shoestring budgets and small donations. So make sure you support them via GoFundMe, Patreon, or direct contributions. You can contribute to me while I take down these idiots like the ones in the comments here, or any of you that ever have the balls to show up in person. Wave it on, bro, because you can't back it up. I guarantee you that you guys are worse than white belts. Never, could never, will never, can't back it up. CNN, MSNBC, and the New York Times completely ignored this issue, buried it, $68 million taxpayer heist, because it makes Democrat-run welfare systems look like the fraud magnets they are. And across this country, we are uncovering the dirty little fraud of the little lefty boys who are crying, and nobody cares. So, good for you. Good for you. He goes, it doesn't take balls to confront somebody like you. The more you talk, the weaker you look. The biggest pussies are the ones who talk the most. Okay, then where are you at, Lost Cause? Any day, Anywhere you want to meet up, let's meet up, because you can't back that crap up. Just by looking at your picture, you're overweight, you're obese and fat and unkept. You're gross. You can't fight, so shut up. He goes, douchebag pedo. Oh, he goes, Semper Fi. Mike Francis in the chat. He goes, do you support ICE? Absolutely. Absolutely. He goes, let people call. Bro, you don't have a phone. You're probably on an Obama phone right now. If taxpayers didn't pay for your phone, how would you call in? He goes, I agree. The left has been ripping off taxpayers for years. Of course they have. Because if they skinny boy, Keon Mahadruzella, like, bro. He goes, way back archives has your arrest. Yeah, well, what happened with it? What happened with it? He goes, all this from a guy who doesn't have a job. He gets paid through TikTok? Really? He goes, quit jawing. 32 people died in ICE centers. Yeah, and hopefully you're one of the next ones. Little baby. And he's racist. Look at these guys. We got a bunch of leftards in here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to continue to make fun of you for being dummies. And we're going to uncover all of your fraud. And we're going to dismantle all of your woke, fake little agendas and politicians. And we're going to jack you out of all those seats. And we're going to pull down all these organizations that you guys steal money from. And then we're going to laugh about it and drive our pickup trucks that are all paid up by you guys while you're protesting and crying in the streets where we put you.
See what you got. All right, that's pretty good. Pretty good. See what you got. See what you got. All right, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. Yep. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Nice protest. Nice protest. Did you guys protest and you stuck up for ICE? You did a real good job. Uh-huh. He goes, okay, so the next topic is the hypocritical flag waving frenzy. The leftists, they're getting tired. Y'all must have a whole closet full of different little flags for you to get offended with. Oh, look at the leftists parading through New York with Venezuelan flags demanding the release of Nicolas Maduro, the same brutal dictator whose capture had actual Venezuelan in Times Square. The ICE meltdowns, selective outrage. Leftists lose their mind over ICE enforcing the laws. Leftists hate laws. They hate accountability. They hate being told what to do. Like in Minneapolis, where a protester tried ramming agents and got shot. Now they're spinning it as the next George Floyd. But where's the fury for the cartels flooding our borders with fentanyl, killing thousands? Probably all your buddies. Don't want their shit being shown to everybody. That's usually what it is. She said, these unemployed losers. Yeah, we know, Bubba. We know it. Not everybody works at the Brattleboro Bagel Works and makes coffee, okay, and then gets a hotel voucher. You probably have children who live in a dirty hotel on a voucher. Killing thousands. These same activists block deportations of criminals, waving Mexican flags, chanting against imperialism, while ignoring how their sanctuary policies empower drug lords. And that's it, really. Crying on behalf of all of this All of these policies, all of this sanctuary city and state crap, all it does is allow people to be manipulated by drug cartels, allows people to be trafficked across borders. It happens here in Vermont all the time. We busted a bunch of libtards up at the border with a bunch of kids. They were dosing kids with THC so that they wouldn't make any noise while they packed them like logs in the back of their cars and snuck them across the border. Got busted. Smuggling little children. That's what these people are all trying to stick up for. Screaming, no kings, hands off, hands off. Okay, yeah, and Trump's a dictator. Yet crickets when Iran regime slaughters protesters rising against real tyranny. Where's your virtue signaling when it comes to Iran? Where's that? Trump is the king. Trump is your king. Leftists march for Maduro's freedom, but won't lift a finger for Iranians begging for help. How dare you not have compassion? Trump's authoritarianism is just enforcing borders and trade deals. They call Trump Hitler, but wave flags for regimes that echo fascist control. Everybody's a Nazi again? Is everybody a widow Nazi because you're mad at your protest? You sound retarded. Plus, you can't back it up. You can't back any of it up. You want to be Antifa? You want to be the resistance? You guys can't resist eating chocolate bars and fried chicken until you're 300 pounds. You're not in shape. You can't fight. You haven't done the work. You guys want to dress up like the military. Protesting fake news and big tech censorship. The left-built machine, now they're out with identical pre-printed signs. Where'd you get the signs? Decrying right-wing propaganda. While their media echo chamber ignores cartel violence or dictator atrocities. If facts were flags, they'd burn them too, preferring feel-good narratives over reality. And that's true. Burn whatever you want. Get mad at facts. Get mad at science. Are we following the science yet? Is this the science? You don't like government tyranny, but you were about to cancel the world over COVID and wanted people who didn't get a jab to get locked in prison, but now you are anti-authoritarianism? Give us a break. So we're supposed to pretend like you... Oh. He said, hey, easy now. Round is a shape. He goes, have you been taking lessons from the salty cracker? Using taxpayer money for talking heads on YouTube. Sad. Well, hey, we would rather have taxpayer money go to talking heads than have it go to your Leering Center and your fake daycare and your fake adult daycares. We found hundreds of millions of dollars worth of fraud. That's why you all of a sudden wanted to burn your Teslas. Y'all love Tesla when you thought that Elon Musk was a libtard, and then you freaked out once he showed that you guys were all stealing money and that you're useless. Now you want to attack and burn Teslas. This has been a hard year for you libtards, and you're still... This is why we need education. Keon, you are not educated. You are indoctrinated. I would run circles around you in that. And you know it. That's why you are mad. And we are laughing at you. Hilarious. He said, too dumb to get your audio to work. Don't know. It's not working? Seems like it's working. Seems like it's working to me. Huge shout out to everybody hopping in the live show. He said, point proven. Says, I'm here, bitch. Well, why don't any of you ever come down? Where are you at? In my mom's basement? Bro, your mom is your dad. Jeff Bush in the house. Scotty Price in the house. Look at them. We have a bunch of libtards in here mad today because we blowing up across X, YouTube, Facebook, the very best podcast, the Planet Hank live show. We're out here entertaining the masses, and they're so mad about it. He goes, I'm just here to record. What are you going to do? Cry for your 4 followers? Nobody cares. You don't have a platform. Want to know why? Because every opinion you have is just CNN-generated AI nonsense. You can't back it up. You're not authentic. And nobody gives a shit what you have to say. That's why we're running away with the country. Jeff Bush says, time for the throat punch. The sound's dropping out a lot. He's at 59. That's a lot. We're enjoying it tonight. He said, at least factual opinions not pulled out of my arse. Nobody cares. I've yet to meet a leftard liberal beta guy who can back up his mouth. You can't back it up. You haven't done the work. And trust me, you know who knows that? I know that. And you know who else knows that? Your girlfriend. She knows you're full of shit. So let's go over an expanded version. We'll have a long-winded discussion about all of the liberal failures in the state of Vermont so far. You want to do that? Should we show that up? Public safety, drug addiction, homelessness, budgeting, and waste. And it'll be accurate as of January 2026. Progressive priorities like endless harm reduction, motel vouchers, as endless band-aids, soft on crime leniency, and unchecked big government spending have fueled crisis despite massive taxpayer dollars. And we all know why. The funding comes to a halt when they can't steal the money. Overdose death paradox. Let's talk about all the people that the left has killed with their fetish for saying that addiction is a disease. Fatal opioid overdoses dropped 22% in 2024 from 236 to 183, with continued declines in 2025. But critics slam progressive harm reduction focus. Naloxone handouts, proposed overdose prevention centers, $1.1 million for the Burlington safe injection site, where they're not even going to allow injections to happen there. You're just allowed to go there if you're looking for therapy, because they know that what's going to happen, they're going to kill somebody. And it's, everybody criticizing them, saying, hey, this is enabling rather than ending addiction. Very true. Fentanyl and trank zombie market. Fentanyl dominates, surging 42% in 2024. Cocaine involvement jumped to 70%, creating complex addictions that harm reduction can't fix and never could. Yet funding prioritizes safer use over disrupting supply chains. The left doesn't want the drug boats to stop. They want funding for their treatment centers. They don't want the drugs to stop. They want the drugs to flow, and then they want to pretend like they're going to fix the problem. with harm reduction. Trafficking. Non-carceral approaches, meaning not going to jail, let repeat offenders cycle through, fueling violence and disorder. We have no mandatory minimums here because lefties, like the little soy boys here, said, oh, mandatory minimums are racist. Is it racist? Homelessness record highs persist. 3,300 unhoused in January 2025. Pit count, modest count, because it's more like 4,500 by June 2025, including 1,000 children. Vermont ranks 4th nationally per capita. More liberal nonsense. Sorry, I know it makes you mad, and you can type whatever you need to in the thing. It's all right. We know you failed. You know you failed. You've gotten this whole state addicted. You've allowed illegals to flood into the country. Basically, leftist propaganda while you all cheered and told all these people to come rushing in so that you wouldn't lose your elections and you wouldn't lose your seats or your census counts so that your reps wouldn't have any power anymore. You guys caused all this. And what you also caused was this whole entire country to be plunged into opioid addiction and deaths to skyrocket. And all of your kids are down here being exposed to drugs and crack cocaine. %, year over year in 2025, it pit 270 people on the streets. Burlington sees record of 350 on the streets, with residents saying, I don't walk at night. All you little lefties are afraid to walk at night in your little town because you've destroyed it by being retarded. You know? Costly emergency housing program phased out amid chaos. 30.5 million one-time continuance in FY 2026, plus shelter expansions. But temporary fixes overwhelm permanent solutions. Progressives restrict stricter measures. The public safety erosion, violent crime upticks persist in cities like Burlington. Overall violent crime rose modestly in recent years, with assaults and firearm incidents straining resources. State police face chronic vacancies, soft policies, probation leniency, non-carceral solutions drive recidivism. Dangerous individuals reoffend while communities suffer. What's up? Are you guys going to take the blame for your bright ideas? Are you going to go ahead and admit that everything that you've said has failed? Every single thing that you come up with has failed. And everybody's suffering, including yourselves. But you're so stubborn and stupid that you can't back down. You couldn't say, hey, look, maybe we were wrong. Harm reduction, low barrier shelters. Those were a disaster. Here in town, in Groundworks, one of you liberal social workers was hacked to death by an axe from an immigrant at a low barrier shelter. Did we hear anybody admit that the hotel voucher program was chaos? A woman just got raped who was on a hotel voucher by the hotel manager who was using that program to prey on female victims. Did we see any protests for him? Did we see anybody from the left out at Pliny Park crying in the street for the woman who was raped by the hotel voucher guy? No. They can't. They can't remember. He goes, dope pushers don't care. They make their money. Doctors don't care. Pop, pop. The audio sound, look, I mean, is the audio bad? Let's try it. Let me see. Can you hear it? Can you hear me now? He goes, yeah, Romeo, they've done so much for you Americans. Yeah, I mean, Officer Romeo? She said it keeps cutting out. Audio drops out randomly for short periods. Look at Beetlejuice. Desperation is a hell of a drug. He goes, it kicked off one time and then came back on. Yeah, I know. They love to cry. These people are so stupid. Look at him mad. Gayest intro ever. They're looking for anything to cry about. The left is so embarrassing. It's so bad. It's terrible. Look at these people. Trump's #1 meat rider. Every time you defend the pedo, your hairline moves back. It's just garbage. You guys are weak and you're afraid. I mean, I've marched into all your protests alone and nobody could do anything. You guys cry about me. Nobody does shit. You want to know why? Because you're afraid of me. That's it. Education bloat. Let's talk about spending. Spending balloons. Despite fewer students, double-digit hikes blamed on unsustainable systems. Progressive resistance to reforms keeps burden on taxpayers. Pretty basic. Budget waste and endless spending. We spent hundreds of millions poured into homelessness and addiction, 800 million in recent years, with little accountability. Opioid abatement funds favor prevention, harm reduction. It's ridiculous. The affordable crisis on fuel, high taxes, housing shortages, and unchecked spending push families, retirees out. Progressive big government experiment delivers high cost, low results. Everything the progressives have voted for is against your best interest. Now, instead of worrying about the housing crisis, instead of worrying about the drugs, they're trying to float a bill to take away your Second Amendment right to defend yourself. They want to ban assault rifles and ban pistols. That's their priority in Vermont. Instead of worrying about crime skyrocketing, drugs skyrocketing, they want to ban weapons. We want to have all these drug addicts and homeless people coming in and victimizing you and breaking into your houses, but we don't want you to be able to defend yourself. So let's watch a little video of that breaking down.
Be allowed to break into buildings.
Grab row, please. Make yourself known. Grab row, please.
Police received a report from a resident that someone had broke into their private dwelling and were currently in the basement. Officers responded with several units and briefly spoke to the caller before entering the building with their guns drawn. They located two men who were well known to law enforcement.
Because my fucking hands are hurting behind this like this.
A lot of times, these people who are breaking into these dwellings are very violent, use drugs, use alcohol.
That is not mine. No, it was not. That is not mine. You ain't gonna charge me with that.
It's not just a poor, defenseless human trying to find warmth. Don't.
What? Hey, do not. Do not. What? Do not. What? Don't tell me nothing, motherfucker.
They had blankets and their shoes off and looked like they were sleeping. They were told that they were not to come back, but then they were free to go.
And I can't sleep on the streets because you guys keep waking me up telling me I can't sleep here and there. Well, guess what? Then I'm gonna sleep where the fuck I need to stay warm. I'm not gonna freeze to death like fucking Michael did.
In a separate incident, Police received a report that 2 people were inside the Masiello building who had active no trespassing orders.
We're being arrested and going to jail. Yeah, I know. So, I'll see you whenever.
Officers responded with several units and located 2 suspects in the area, and through investigation confirmed that they did have no trespassing orders, so they were placed under arrest.
Don't even fucking start with me. Don't even start with me. Yeah, I'm having a lovely fucking day too, dirtbag.
The male became very emotional and started yelling that he had only gone in the building to stay warm.
What happened over there, though?
The thing was open and he wanted to be warm.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Unlawfully entering a building or a residence with the intent to commit a crime is a burglary.
Not just theft, that's any crime, but that puts people in a terrible situation. Imagine someone breaks into your house and you find them in your basement. You have an altercation with them. They have a weapon. You have a weapon. You have to use a weapon to protect your family. What are the laws surrounding this altercation? They should have been arrested, and they should send a message to everybody else that you're not allowed to break into buildings.
So, Jesus Christ. The internet is slow. It's very slow. It's bad. It's very, very slow. She said, I can't help people who are lost in their delusions. He said, breaking the law is not getting them anywhere. You are right. We need to help these people. I pray we do. Help them with what? These people, those 2 men specifically, have been no trespass from the homeless shelters because they got caught shooting up and got banned. It literally says in the video, you fucking kicked me out of the shelter. That's because you were shooting up fentanyl and got banned because you were selling drugs and bringing drugs into the place. You know? Said, oh, God, Hank! Said, look at Beetlejuice. Oh, look. Oh, bing. Bye, Beetlejuice. Said, fucking Nazis. Everybody's a Nazi. I stand with ICE. 100%. He said, basically, they need to quit doing drugs and their lives will naturally get better. Yeah, I would say that would probably be a great start. Okay. Before you go out and get yourself completely addicted to fentanyl, just remember, we're telling you now, they're going to kick you out of the homeless shelter and you're going to get no trespassed. We literally have a list of all of the stuff that the left has poured into homelessness and addiction, failures. Let's kick that out. Let's kick that out and kick that out. This might make it faster. Does that make it faster? He said, deport the illegals and asshole liberals. 100%. Other countries figured out drug reform long ago. You're living in the past. So you think that because some little tiny country legalized, like Denmark or something, or Amsterdam, so you think that we should we should allow everybody to use any drug. Get a grip. Just shut the fuck up. If you need to, move to Venezuela. You sound like a moron. 11 million illegal aliens to put it under Bill Clinton. Jamie Thompson writes, slow connection here, but your message is going through. The system's so ass backwards, and we know why. What needs to happen is we need to get these morons, these leftards here who have no business having anything to do with government, have never done anything that would make them qualified to make any decisions. They don't have common sense. They're emotional cowards. And they want to do things like attack Teslas and burn things and burn Target and cry. And cry. And why would we want emotional retards to be running the government? I don't think that we do. And everything that they've done here has been a failure. Property taxes projected 12% increases. Police and enforcement shortfalls. They want to defund the police. Public safety erosion. Crime is up, dude. Crime. These towns are getting ridiculous. Every crime. And then I'll tell you who calls the cops. It's little coward leftists who get online and cry like several of these little weaklings are doing. And then they're the first people to call the cops and cry when their car or house gets broken into or they get robbed or anything. They call the cops more than anybody. Believe me, I have a scanner. I'm listening to a whole bunch of libtards calling the cops right now. He said, I don't like ICE, but it's what I do like about it. They're going to bring in a revolution that this country has never. Yeah, we have seen it. We have seen it. We already had the Civil War. You got your cunts kicked in. You lost. The Republicans beat your asses bad and took away your slaves, and you're still not done being mad about that. I mean, there's no question, if you've ever read a history book, that the left was a party of slaveholders. Always has been. And now the corporations are also busy protecting their cotton dollars. You're going to have to face the reality. Hey, Captain Lube, anytime, all this 5-2, all this stuff. You want to worry about how you think you're going to fight me? You're not. You'll get beat up. You're not going to do anything to me. You're cowards, and you've done zero work. You can't fight. That's the reality, and everybody in here knows it. He goes, Hank, you can't debate with liberals. They're the ones destroying our country. That's correct. There isn't a military police force on this planet combined that can remove the guns from the hands of the American people of 180 million. Exactly. Maureen Spicer writes, history repeats itself and nothing ever changes. That's right. Look at these people. Oh, my God. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, I'll use my baby knees. Even little pilchy baby knees here knows for a damn certain. Tried. You've rolled with me. You know you can't even chip the armor of this boy. I'll tear you apart, and you know it. Out of all of the libtards in here, one of the ones I actually like is Dylan Pilcher. I mean, everything he says is absolutely annoying, and he's a complete pussy. But sometimes he's funny. And every once in a while, you can get him to admit that all of his crap is lies. He's just watching CNN. He goes, politics is a joke in this country, bro. Yeah, we got it. You mean that you're wrong. Wrong again. Those roles switched in 64. This is it. So explain. So if there was a platform switch, what did they do? They take all the money that you made from selling cotton with slavery and switch bank accounts? How's that work? How does that work? You can't just switch. Would you get so to switch teams? You gave all of your money to the other team? That's not how it works. You guys use slavery to force capitalism in this country. Go read a book. Go read a book. And then you took all that money to establish yourselves in the government. And the only thing that you switched in 1960s during the civil rights movement was your tactic. That's what you switched. You might have switched your messaging from being racist slavers to saying, hey, look, we could use the civil rights movement to get some political traction because our message is in the toilet. Because before that, your message was the Confederacy. Your message was the Confederacy. And then in the 50s, it was communism. I mean, nobody's buying this anymore. We're not listening to it. You haven't read any books. You're just mad. You're literally just citing anything that you can. He goes, you're the party of racists now. That's not true. No, we're the party of not putting up with your BS. And the people who you call racist the most are the African Americans who are Trump supporters or anybody who won't accept your crazy liberal crap. The party switched. How'd they switch? Will you switch bank accounts? What you get my checkbook, I get yours? Makes no sense. Nothing switched. You can't crap that I just talked about here with public safety, erosion, drug addiction, homelessness, woke, trans stuff, all of these failures that you've had now, buddy, you're going to have to switch parties again. How are you going to switch parties again? What are you going to do this time? You're going to switch off the crazy woke. Everybody's a Nazi. Everything's the Gestapo. Let's attack police officers and then it's their fault. Everything you guys come up with is cheating and fraud, and everything that you do is bad. You're not good at this. This is why I wonder why you guys always want to do politics. You've got the history of America is that the left has lost all the time, all throughout history, because all they try to do is lie and cheat and steal. Guilty. And now they're going to prison. He goes, this loser wags his tongue and mutes himself? What? The party switched? Huh, that's weird. You'd have to switch bank accounts. You got no points, Dylan Pilcher. He goes, I've got an off-the-rack suit filming in my garage. Weird. That'd be a weird garage, wouldn't it? He goes, if there was a platform switch, then why was in early of 2006 Joe Biden advocating for militarizing the border? It's sad. Republican Party is the most diverse because we don't care where they are from, just all legal patriots. There it is. Ron Little, he writes, wow, I love this guy. He's so right about everything. Oh, no, look at the Nick Fuentes. Oh, no, am I Nick Fuentes because I don't agree with radical left activist protesters who can't even figure out what they're protesting from week to week? What is it this week? ICE in Venezuela and Iran. I thought you were protesting for Muslims and not against them. And now Iran is killing all of their citizens. Where are you? Oh, wait a minute. Which white lady got shot that you're mad about? I thought white people were racist. I thought Renee Good was privileged, but now she's shot. Oh, no. The only dead white woman that the left cares about was Renee Good. All the ones that the illegals killed, they don't want to talk about at all. Jamie Thompson, I feel like it is so simple and nobody wants to listen. Everyone is crying for help, but nobody wants to take the steps to help themselves. People don't like it when people speak out about what matters unless you have a pacifier and back rub waiting for them to be burnt. It's just like letting criminals be criminals, and when it affects you, you can't even manage the emotional effects of it. Makes sense. Here we go. Here's one of these leftards. Color of skin is not race. Eye color is not race. Blood type isn't race. So China isn't Chinese? Okay. He goes, so wait, if people should protest the things that you think they should, why don't you go protest those things? Because only weak liberals who have no platform and no political standing protest. We have the documents of several buses of indivisible old people being bussed down to Baltimore and all over this country from Vermont to stage protests and pretend that they want the National Guard out of our communities. No, you don't. You're being paid and bussed in by crazy woke globalist organizations that are funneling dark money in, and you guys all bought it. You've been manipulated. You're only mad because CNN tells you to. You don't even know what the hell you're mad about from week to week. That's why you protest anything. Why didn't they blame the gun? Why'd they blame the ICE officer? Why not the gun? If the officers didn't have guns, how would they have been shot? Comments are lit. It's all Hank's fault. Race is a power construct. Said, why are you? Because they're embarrassing. Why am I complaining about protests? Because they're fake and they're paid for and they're not genuine. And you guys are lying. It's manufactured outrage. You've been purchased. These organizations have paid top dollar to feed you MSNBC and CNN all day long, and you're all subscribed to Indivisible and 5051. You don't even know what you're mad about. You just get told to show up and protest, and they print the signs out for you and hand them to you. You don't even know why you're mad. You have to look it up before the protest. I've been to protests. They literally have like a little kumbaya moment at the beginning where they explain why everybody's outraged. They hand you your signs and give you a lesson on what you're protesting today. And we're sick of it. You guys can go down and protest. It's not like it does anything, but we're going to make fun of you for it because it's embarrassing for you. Up here it is. Well, what was J6? Hey, listen, after last night in Minnesota and all the burning and insurrection, because realistically, all you're doing is being insurrectionists. By attacking federal government and federal agents, all you're doing is insurrecting against government. We don't want to hear about your crying about J6. You sound like idiots. Crying. Proof. King Trump. Oh, no. Yep, Adam Olin here. Adam Olin kicked the crap out of Dylan Pilcher. Adam Olin, who is a fine Vermont patriot Republican, beat up little baby knees Dylan Pilcher in a wonderful sanctioned cage match, and it was awesome. He goes, Hank, I've been watching your show for many years, and I just want my own Brattleboro Police Gold Star. That's not the gold star the left is going to give you, okay? Go read a history book about the gold stars they pass out. He goes, Trump is going to piss on the globalist agenda. 100%. Look at all these comments. The left is having a meltdown. We're having a liberal meltdown. Oh, no, Trump is your president. Protesters are both violent and scary. Nobody thinks that you're scary. Nobody said scary. In fact, you had to cry when the Proud Boys came out. When the Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys came out and handled y'all summarily, like you had nothing to say. You couldn't do anything. Nobody's afraid. In fact, they created a whole organization to come down and beat you up. And then you cried about it. Literally. He said, no midterms this year? He goes, I hope you're well, buddy. I've been sad as shit lately. Well, you got to get up, get a job, get out of your dad's house. You got to stop doing this liberal, like, mad about everything stuff. It drags you down. It's why liberals are miserable. All you do is focus on what you think that you should be outraged by to show off. Oh, I'm such a good person. That's why I'm so upset about ICE. Nobody thinks you're a good person because you're mad about ICE. We think you're an idiot. Look at now. Oh, how tall are you, bitch boy? Hey, dude, listen, you could never, you would never, you will never. Don't act tough, because that's not what the left is. You guys are the nerds. You're not going to fight all the jocks. That's not going to happen. You should be doing everything that you can to do this little crying and whining and make sure that it actually never turns into an actual confrontation, because you know you're ill-equipped. He goes, I just got broken up with. That's what got me. Hank is like 5'3". Thanks for asking. Liberals are betas. Yep, 100%. He said, what you going to do? Call the cops and cry about it? With the last name Molina. Let's see how much you like them when they come for you. Oh, man. He said, no. We know that Papa Smurf is way shorter than me. Okay? I tower over both of you. He goes, this is friendly and safe. Gay channel. The streamer enjoys getting pegged. Well, here's the thing. I will say this. This stream is for all audiences. I don't care. I don't care if you're a libtard. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care what you think about. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. But we're going to make fun of you for doing and saying dumb stuff. Okay? You could be whatever, any little group you want to be in. I don't care. You can watch my stuff. I want you to. But when you get all triggered and try to act something that you're not, we're just gonna call you out on it. You're not smart. You haven't done the work. You haven't read the books. You haven't done anything. All you've done is gone on CNN or MSNBC and listened for people who actually get paid to tell you what you are mad about. And then you go and protest and go and buy their merch and their T-shirts and their flags and put your temporary profile pictures and get yourself vaccinated. You are just like fodder to them. Without you doing what they tell you, then they have no authority either. So, I mean, you can be proud about that if you want. He goes, no, MAGA-tards deserve spam. Dude, we don't care. All you're doing is blowing the channel up. We're laughing at you. I got 160 people watching live. 160. It's climbing. Basic. You would be better off jacking off a gorilla with a handful of glass than to fuck with me, you little keyboard. The thing is that whenever you don't agree with a leftist, all they do is call you racist or make up an ist. You're a name. We've got a name for that. You're a racist and a misogynist and a Nazi. You've got Islamophobia, transphobia. It's retarded. Look at. And then this is the new one. You're the Timu Nick Fuentes. Oh, no. Is that the new insult? You're like Nick Fuentes. Now you're bad. Nick Fuentes said stuff that we don't like. Now you're bad. Am I Stalin? That was the other one that I was being told. I thought you guys liked socialists and communists, but I'm Stalin and Hitler. Which is it? I thought you liked that. I thought you liked that. I thought that was your big plan to fix the world. He goes, let's drop this Nazi. Bring it. Crystal Knight Gaming. Crystal Knight. Yes. Let's drop this Nazi. Bring it. TDS is a deadly disease. No, I'm not quite 50. I'm 43. He says, looks pretty good for 50. See that? He goes, bring it, says the pussy in an off-the-shelf suit. What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? He goes, I'm just thinking out loud. It didn't seem like that Trump really wanted all the Epstein stuff to come to light. I mean, he's the one who brought it up. He's such a proud boy, like someone that come out of the closet for the first time. It's beautiful. We know the Proud Boys had you guys so scared. The Proud Boys had the left fucking terrified. Terrified. It was epic to watch them handle y'all like that. Now, that's not something that maybe I would join or be a part of or anything, but I think we can all agree that it was beautiful watching the left line up and think that they're going to like get violent. And then when another team lined up and beat their asses on video and the whole world loved it, now they don't want to do that anymore. What happened to the umbrellas and the shields and shit? He goes, they're ice now. They're ice now. She said, you would get bodied real quick, loser. Oh, okay. Then where are you at? Where are you at? I'd even just entertain. Come to my jiu-jitsu gym. Come to my jiu-jitsu gym. Monadnock Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Come on down. Anytime. I'll hook you up. I will hook you up. She said, I would have no problem taking you out. Said, I thought the left was the violent ones. It's not violence. It's jiu-jitsu. Come on down. Anytime you want. He goes, don't sacrifice your body on the Monadnock. He goes, my ass, drop the address. Anytime, Brattleboro. Long drib, Donald Trump. Said, I thought the left was the violent ones. But there you have it. The greatest podcast ever. We got the left having, this is a tearjerker for the left. They have failed. Everybody knows it. Everybody is watching it all play out in the streets. Even the mayor of Burlington had to go and beg for more cops to come down and clean up the liberal hellhole that she made. Brattleboro's doing terrible. Vermont's economic outlook is the worst in the whole country. But here they are, pretending to be tough, hiding through a YouTube account, and using collectivism because they can't stand alone. The left is the smallest and weakest political organization. Patriots of Vermont, I'm calling on you now to warn you of corruption, of scandal, of betrayal during every vote. Becca Balin, Peter Welch, Bernie Sanders have sold you out. They voted against the Halt Fentanyl Act. flooding your communities with 85% cheaper drugs. They decriminalized narcotics. There's no treatments. We are exposing the corrupt leftist politicians who have infiltrated our state and destroyed our potential. Join me. Fight back. Stand up for yourselves. Do what's right for the state of Vermont. Do what's right for our children. It's time that we come together and kick these people out of our state. Join me, Planet Hank, in fighting back. Fighting for Vermont, fighting for America, fighting for our children's futures. We have to turn this around before it's too late. Crime rates and drug usage rates in the state of Vermont are out of control, and they have tried to defund the police every step of the way. Fight back with me, become a patriot, and let's get this done for the Green Mountain State, because it's the right thing to do for Vermont and for America. For America! Here we are, the greatest country. Much better than any liberal hellhole or blue state getting in the way of our good time. Everybody hates guys. They just can't let go. It's like they're being electrocuted and can't let go of the wire. They're out of their minds. Everything that they say is a lie, and we've proven it a million times over. They can't do anything. So then what they do is then they're just going to go crazy this whole time. They're just going to continue to dig themselves in and get so upset about everything, and then blame it on everything except what the problem is from the get-go. Them. And they know it. And that's the worst part. That's what makes being a leftard so crazy, is they know for a fact that what they're saying is wrong, but they will never back off of it. This is it. This is all they have. This is all that they can do, is cry and moan and throw a tantrum. And so they're saying, what is their plan here? So we're going to spam your account. Okay, spam it. Try to look for a video here. A very funny video. Where the heck is it? Here, we'll play this one. He says, deport the Democrats.
Are here. You made it. The absolutely best podcast. The most exciting content on the internet. We are taking over, and you cannot stop Hank. Brattleboro News gives you the action. The unfiltered raw footage you have been missing.
But what about my feelings?
Fuck your feelings. We literally don't care.
Why are you so mean?
Shave your head. Shave your head. Shave your head.
I love Planet Hank.
You mad? You happy? The Planet Hank live show is here.
Shave your head. Shave your head. Shave your head. And we know it. The worst ever political party. The Democrats are spiraling into nothing. Well, Trump. We know you guys are scared. We know you're going to lose the midterms. You can't back any of your mouths up. Your protests are weak. All your policies have failed. And everybody hates you. So, the Planet Hank Live Show, the most wonderful podcast ever. It's been a wonderful night. We're going to get out of here, but I have a treat for you. And I know that you libtards in here are having mental illness. This is going to appeal to you right here. This is going to appeal to your mental illness. I made this for you.
That's all that matters. And I just stare in your eyes. Stare in your eyes. And I just stare in your eyes. Stare in your eyes. Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. 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 And you're all over the night. All in the night. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And I just stare in your eyes. Stare in your eyes. And I just stare in your eyes. Stare in your eyes. Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. Can you take me higher?
Senator Warren.
Higher, higher.
PDS.
Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. Can you take me higher?
I think I would rather come inside your mom. Again. AOC can get it.
Can you take me higher?
There's the boy right there. That would save this country. That would save this country right there. That would save this country. We had Trump. Trump gave the work to AOC. She would become a right-winger fast as hell. She would understand. Says, report your mom. Look at these people. You're a reporter? This is AI slop. We get it. You have TDS, and you've been manipulated by the liberal media to think that your outrage is somehow unique or something that you even came up with through basic thoughts. You haven't. You are mad because somebody else told you to. Stop pretending that that is a political stance. It's not a political stance. You are just watching MSNBC to figure out why you're mad. And they are just using that. They know how dumb you are. And so they keep getting you. Every time you go stand out or cry about some arbitrary, useless little situation, you think that you're virtue signaling. You're not. You're just outing yourself as somebody that they can manipulate for political gain. That's all you've done. So all of these comments, all of this stuff that all these people think that they've done, you've accomplished nothing. And you're still scared of us. And that's that. Anytime it ever breaks out or anybody ever wants to draw lines, we will whoop your asses every time. And we don't care what you think because what we think is that you're disgusting people. You have no morals. You're gross. Basically, you're mad at the right because you want to be excused for all the bad things that you believe in and want to do with your bodies and with other people. That's basically what this all comes down to. You are pissed because you want abortions and surgeries and gender reassignments, and you want to spend all the money on climate change and homeless and shit. And it makes no sense. And when you get called out on it, then everybody's a Nazi. You're not justified. You are not morally superior. You have no morals. You're bad people. And you're gross. And when we call you out on it, then you basically just confirm it to all of us. And with that, I'm going to leave you to your miserable little pillows where you can go cry about how mean I was to you, because I don't care. And I don't care about you in any way. And none of us do. She says, I'm so mad I can't stay on. What is the track of my story? The whole point of this podcast is to read your comments and make fun of you for how ridiculous you are. That's all it is. She says, don't forget Marco. Good point. Good point. Let's put Marco's song on. Let's do Marco. So what I need is 3 people to put up 3 dog emojis. And what will we do? We will play. Hold on. And I will give 3 dog emojis from 3 different people. There it is. Heather, Rachel. What else we got? One more. Katie, Jeff, we got to keep putting those dog emojis up. Here we go. Keep putting them up. And here he is right there. I'm going to turn this off so y'all can see him. Oh, what a good boy. What a good boy. Yes, Marco. Who'd you vote for, Marco? Trump? That's a good boy. There you go. Yes, that's our mascot. The best dog in the state. I mean, he's more human than half of the creatures that are in the comments tonight, and we love him for it. The Planet Hank live show. Planet Hank got right underneath their skin, and they're still mad. They're not going to sleep right tonight. They're going to need to go back to their therapist in the morning and cry about their emotions, and they're going to have to get their hormones re-injected into them. Their shit's off balance. We used to call it a chemical imbalance, but now that's just what they think their gender is. But, okay, the Planet Hank live show says your mother should have swallowed. Well, here's the thing. Your mother did. And it was awkward. It was terrible. Nobody liked it. That's why she's alone. He goes, Hank's going to cry when he gets off the stream. No, what I'm going to do when I get off this stream is to go downtown and film some of the liberal failures throughout the state and post them, and the liberals are going to cry. He goes, they will sleep with one eye open. It sounds like emotional, just political discourse. We got it. We get it. You think that you are correct, even though we did the whole podcast on all the failures of the left. You failed. It'd be one thing if you were doing a good job, but you're not. You're doing a lousy job, and you can't handle the truth. Deuces!
Planet Hank Live. The absolute finest entertainment on the internet. Join us in fighting back against evil.
It's hotter than a blacktop in July, sweating like a sinner in a church, and I just wanna get out with my crew tonight and shoot at the lights. Got a couple 40s full of hops and fun, looking for a good time.